Alright guys, this is a big one. We're going to be talking about paleo diet. We're wrapping up this week our little mini-series discussing different types of dieting methodologies. And paleo is really popular right now because of the CrossFit wave. Those got commingled by a lot of the people driving the CrossFit community. And it's really interesting that a lot of people consider paleo to be a low-carb diet because it's really not. You can eat any amount of carbs you want in a paleo diet. They typically recommend calorie restricting through carbs if you're trying to lose body fat. But certainly you look at these CrossFit athletes, especially at the higher level games, and I guarantee you those people are pounding a lot of carbohydrate. You need to for that kind of performance athletically. But here's the cool thing about paleo. You know I'm a very big proponent of having the right amount of protein. So this is not a ketogenic diet. Keto would be protein is very low. So you've got the protein at an adequate level, at least 2 times the RDA for most people. And you're going to have healthier fats, I would hope. You know, paleo is pretty much kind of like Paleolithic man, where you're a hunter-gatherer. But you know, there's the fat from those animal sources and even other Mediterranean style type fats, the healthier unsaturated oils. But the food from the food sources in terms of carbohydrates are fruit, vegetables, and root vegetables, or tubers as they're called. So things like potatoes, something that comes from the ground. So basically they're just eliminating wheat and grain products. Now, there's a ton of research showing that you do not have to restrict grain. There's a ton of new research showing that gluten sensitivity and gluten allergies are not really that prevalent like people want you to believe. But anyway, if you just stick with the fact that paleo says, you know, no grains, just things that you can pick out of the ground. You're a hunter-gatherer. You can't grow corn and wheat and soybeans and all that. You just have to get what you find in nature. I don't have any problem with that. I mean, that's a pretty good plan if you can stick to it, but you end up back in that place where you're pigeonholing yourself behind a bunch of rigid rules. And do you really want to be paleo? I got a story I love to tell about a guy who owned a local CrossFit box, and he said, you know, his #1 trainer could never, you know, promote our diet doc methodology because he's paleo. And I said, so this guy never ever has any grains, anything like that? He goes, no. He's militant, man. He's 100% paleo. And I said, so he never ever has any sugary carbohydrates. He never breaks his diet. No. He's 100% paleo. And then with 2 or 3 more questions, he said, oh yeah, I've seen this guy polish off like an entire sheet cake at a birthday party. Just, you know, once he gets in there, he goes crazy. But then, you know, that's not very often. Then he's 100% paleo. And that's my whole point through all of this curriculum so far, is you have to pick a diet that's not only healthy, and maybe you want the healthiest diet. You have to ask yourself, are you really going to be able to sustain that? And that is an important thing. But again, back to paleo as it is prescribed, a lot of good things that we can learn from that. It's just a rigid form of diet that's not quite all the way necessary.